Al Gore has it wrong with regards to global warming. There is a lot of debate as to whether or not global warming is occurring, and if it is it caused by human activity? And if it is caused by human activity, what, if anything, should be done about it? The climate of the Earth is very complex. If you drop a ball and study what it does, it is a simple and well understood process. You can make predictions about the ball's path, and they can be confirmed by experiments. I personally tend to believe the scientists and their computer models that indicate that climate change is currently occurring and that it is related to the amount of carbon dioxide which is put which has been put in the atmosphere during the industrial era. To do good science about climate change, you would have to have several Earths and to be able to vary various aspects of what went on the various Earths to actually prove or disprove whether or not climate change is affected by human activity. If you watch Al Gore's DVD, An Inconvenient Truth, you will see the deficiencies of his arguments. In The Inconvenient Truth, Al Gore claims that in the 50s and 60s there was data which indicated that global warming was occurring because of the carbon dioxide put in the atmosphere due to burning fossil fuels by humans. Therefore, the amount of CO2 that results in global warming is equal to the amount of carbon dioxide being put into the atmosphere by the 50s and 60s. However, Al Gore's solution called for putting the emissions back to the levels in the 1970s. These were more than those of the 60s. Additionally, there is no call for eliminating the carbon dioxide that is already there. Therefore, if we were to follow his solutions, global warming would still occur. Energy comes to the Earth from the Sun in the form of electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation is a result of a magnetic field oscillating at right angles to an oscillating electric field. The shorter the wavelength of the oscillation, the more energy per photon of the electromagnetic radiation. About 10% of the energy from the Sun comes to us in wavelengths that are shorter than visible light. About 40% comes in the form of visible light. About 40% comes in the form of infrared radiation, and about 10% of the radiation comes in wavelengths longer than infrared radiation. Global warming occurs when carbon dioxide in the air absorbs energy from the Sun and heats the air instead of the electromagnetic radiation being reflected back into space. The amount of energy emitted from the Sun varies by about 4%. The amount of energy received by the Earth also varies somewhat because the distance from the Earth to the Sun varies because the Earth's orbit is not a perfect circle. The amount of power the Earth receives from the Sun continuously is about 1.74 times 10 to the 17th watts. Not all parts of the Earth receive solar energy at the same rate because of the tilt of the Earth's axis and because the Earth rotates and during the night time the amount of solar energy received is negligible. In 2008, the Earth's energy consumption was about 4.74 times 10 to the 20th joules. 80 to 90% of That energy comes from fossil fuels. A joule is a watt per second. That means if you divide the power of 1.74 times 10 to the 17th watts into the total energy consumed in 2008 of 4.74 times 10 to the 20th joules, in about 2,724 seconds or 45 minutes, the Earth receives from the Sun the amount of energy equal to that consumed by humans in 2008. With great simplification, there are three chemical equations that describe all human life functions on Earth. They are carbon dioxide plus water plus energy, usually sunlight, yields hydrocarbon plus oxygen. The second is hydrocarbon plus energy yields larger hydrocarbon. And finally, hydrocarbon plus oxygen yields carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. Even if we were to stop burning all coal, all petroleum, and all natural gas, we would still have too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and global warming would continue. To stop burning fossil fuels would eliminate about 80 to 90% of all energy that is consumed currently. The only way to stop global warming would be to take all the extra carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. This would require more energy than was released in making the excess carbon dioxide. The solution to the problem of global warming is to get ready for the consequences of it now. Particularly in the next century, sea levels are going to go up about 3 to 6 feet. And if we do not get ready for it now, you can kiss a number of coastal cities goodbye. Other consequences of global warming are going to be certain diseases and insects are going to be able to live further north and south of the equator than they currently can. There are going to be more powerful storms. There will be more droughts in some areas, more flooding in other areas. Things will be different. The horse has left the barn. Cutting carbon dioxide emissions now is too late. We should be putting our efforts into getting ready for the coming problems. It's not all going to be bad news. Particularly, there's a lot of areas in Siberia, Alaska, and Canada that are just currently too cold to live in, and some of those will become accessible for humans.